Mariameno Kapi-Kingi.
Tēnā tātou te whare. So I want to share some information regarding the Tai Tokerau, that's Northland. So in terms of the electorate, you should know it stems from Te Hapua. If you've ever been to the very far north, you must go. If you haven't, yes, good on you, Grant. You must go because it's a pretty place. But what it is a paradise, isn't it? It's a paradise in poverty. And I know. And of course, I mean, the look north, kaupapa last night, I get it, of course. But what it demonstrated last night, Mr. McCullum and others, is that it really showed the haves and the have-nots. It was a wonderful big display. It was fantastic. Some blinking good people, relations of Grant and I. But what it showed last night in the banquet hall, great idea and wonderful thinking and so on. But the disconnect between look north, what I saw in banquet hall, to the actual north of where I know and live at times, you couldn't be more... I mean, it's just so vastly different. It is the haves and it is the have-nots. It is the privileged and it is the poverty-stricken. And it is the poverty in paradise. So poverty in paradise, so that's a point. And this is the Tai Tokerau. So, and here we go. More mokopuna made homeless in Te Tai Tokerau. And you heard my comments earlier on today at question time. So I wanted me to, and for that result, to the Honourable Tamapōtaka, Chris Bishop and Louise Upston. Now, each of those ministers holds responsibility. On one side, housing, and on the other, employment. These two pillars are critical in determining whether our mokopuna are raised in homes or in the backseat of a car. I know, Grant McCullum and I, we know this reality, so we've probably got to do more, Grant, just saying. Now, these ministers must answer to all whānau and mokopuna who have been made homeless in the wake of regressive changes to the emergency housing eligibility, especially in Te Tai Tokerau. We've seen it every day. More recently, in Kaitaia, driving through Pack and Save, see a car parked up, see a wahine in her car, and she's all of her clothes are jammed in the back of the back seats, and she's trying to feed her baby. And I go up and we have a conversation. I go, babe, this ain't good. This ain't good for you. This ain't good for this baby. So we're gonna let's go. And so I have a reputation for just if I see it, I do something about it. I wish that we could all do that, and not only singularly, but particularly for government. I really want you to consider just that single story, because I'm hearing other stories, and they have a very, very familiar and similar vibe when it comes to homelessness, when it comes to people that are not living in poverty because they want to, but because the circumstances which are imposed on them cause them and so oppressive that that's where their lot is. Since these ministers insist on defending these damaging policies, Madam Speaker, I challenge them to come to Te Tai Tokerau. So I want Tama to come, and I want Chris to come, and I want Louise to come. Sorry, Tamapōtaka, Chris Bishop and Louise Upston. And Grant and I will take them to those places. Grant McCullum and I will take them to those stories, not just to the bright and shiny bits, right? Not just to all the paradise, but to the poverty. And then they will know absolutely and surely that the Tai Tokerau homeless numbers, for instance, let me share those numbers with you. So 525 homeless in the far north. Now the next biggest number to that is 747 in Tāmaki in Auckland. Why would a tiny place like Kaitaia, Whangarei, Ahipara, those numbers nearly reach the same numbers in our biggest city in the country? That is utter nuts. And what that tells our people is we just don't matter. We just don't matter, not in quite the same way. It might matter if you could turn up to the hui last night in banquet hall. Then it might matter. Then it might reflect. But if you don't see it and you don't see it enough, it just doesn't matter. And so these are the real stories that are going on, whether I'm in Tatatu North, whether I'm in North Birkenhead, whether I'm in Mahurangi, right? Whether I then go up to Ahipara, Hokianga, Tākau Bay, Te Kaua, Te Hapura. These pockets of poverty, impoverishment, dislocation, deculturation exist deeply and unfortunately, horribly in Te Tai Tokerau. And I want to say greater things about Tai Tokerau, except unfortunately they're not quite great enough, Madam Speaker. So please, Grant McCullum and all the others that you want to look north, come, haere mai ki Tai Tokerau, kia ora tātou.
Ryan Hamilton.
It's quite funny that she goes, Grant and I, yeah, and I think that is really good that she's trying to drag Grant into everything, because I don't think Grant would want to be seen with Mariameno in Te Tai Tokerau.
No. Mariameno would probably have to act as his bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do what... I know you're annoying, but you can't do that to my esteemed colleague in Parliament.
What do you think? Let's use that example that Mariameno brought up with the lady that she met, right? What do you think Grant would say to that lady? What do you think Louise Upston would say? I got an idea what Louise would say. She'd say, "Go get a job."
Yeah, and Grant would say, "You did it. You put yourself into that situation. Take personal responsibility."
Or he would say, "Come work at my dairy farm for free," or something. I don't know.
No. I don't think Grant would go that far.
No, okay. He's not. He couldn't even offer free labor. Okay.
I mean, I can't even picture him offering like a hot soup or anything. He just comes across like Grant McCullum. From what we've seen from the speeches, comes like he's very in an idealistic world. He's not someone who. Okay,
I think I know.
His bubble.
I think I know what he'd say. He'd say, "Don't worry, the free market will fix it," and then he'd walk off.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to what Mariameno was saying, look, I know Kaitaia and Whangarei are two different places. I get it, but they're both in Northland. Whangarei's homeless situation is getting out of hand, right? Look, the council, and I've got this report open, the same one that Tama was sitting on for who God knows how long. But, you know, Whangarei has seen an increase in the number of public reports relating to homelessness from 680 in 2023 to 1,066 in 2024. And at the current rate, the forecast to reach 1,200. So it's a problem.
That is pretty concerning.
Yeah. And it's like, and then you've got constraints around Auckland. It's like, just build more houses. We've got land. No, you can't just build more houses. You've got to build all the accompanying infrastructure to go with the house.
Yeah, exactly. You're so right. Yeah, and it's something that just does not seem to line up with people.
And then they cut funding to Kāinga Order that probably would have helped that lady living in her car with her baby.
Yep.
So it's just like, I can't. I can't. I've run out of cards.
I don't blame you.